You are now tuned in.
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 You are now tuned in
To all angles.
To All Angles.
To All Angles podcast, hosted by Huncho.
Tune in, okay? All Angle Podcast, okay? Hosted by my geyser, Huncho. If y'all know him, you know he gonna speak the truth. If y'all don't know him, y'all better tune in. And if you do tune in, you better come correct because he will put you in your place, alright? Tune in.
It's Huncho, baby.
My nigga.
Yo, this your New York City Concrete Jungle, Big Queen, Southside Jamaica, Baisley Palm Park host Huncho back with another angle. What is this, angle 11?
Yeah,
Isn't that like angel numbers?
it is. It is. Double ones, baby.
Yo, welcome to Angle 11, everybody. I'm your host, Huncho here. Got some guests. Got the co-host here. What's going on, baby girl? You good?
Hey, babe.
Peaches in the house.
Big peaches.
Yo, we got some returning guests right now. I got Barbara, DJ Primetime in the building. What the fuck is good?
What's good?
You know what I'm saying?
up?
How y'all feeling today?
Feeling great.
Yeah,
Feeling great?
feeling pretty damn good.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. How was y'all week?
Busy.
Busy?
I'd say pretty busy.
Pretty busy? What y'all do? What y'all do?
I don't remember.
Damn, it was that busy?
Yeah.
It was so much wrapped into it.
No, I just don't remember. I don't remember what I ate yesterday. So to recall my whole week.
Now I know how it is. Getting old, I'll be thinking the same thing. I'll be leaving one room, going to the next room for something.
Yep.
I get to the next room.
Don't remember.
Don't remember, like, just now.
Yo, that's the worst.
I feel like
went
we
in
all
there-
got ADHD.
Yo.
I definitely have ADHD. So
Like, I
that's
went in
part
there
of
for
it.
something, and even right now, I can't even think. And I got it. A charger. When I got to the room, I'm like, damn, what did I come in here for?
Yep.
Nah, that's crazy.
Stand in
That's
one
me.
place, you'd be like, man, I know I came in here for something.
I gotta
Bro.
go back to the place where I started in order to remember, and then come back for what I.
Yeah, and then I'll get back to the place that I went to originally and then forget again. That'd really fuck you up.
That's
Yeah.
just the worst.
Yeah.
They said to remember something, you gotta forget something else. So
No, that's that. I believe in that. I believe that. I believe
Yeah.
that's true.
That is true.
Like, prime example, you know how it be nothing in the kitchen, nothing in the fridge or the cabinets, but you keep going back in the kitchen like something going on.
Something's gonna pop up.
Yep.
Yo,
That's exactly. Yes.
that's like the best example that I could give because we done all been there. Like,
Facts.
you done
That's
looked
not-
in your fridge
yeah.
15 times
Mhm.
as if something was
forgetful
about to
motherfucker.
appear.
I'm gonna name the angle that. Nah, but glad to have y'all here today, Angle 11. Welcome, viewers. Glad to have y'all back here for Angle 11. Angel numbers. It's gonna be a good angle. We got a lot of topics for tonight. A lot of entertainment, a lot of comical, some serious topics. But we're gonna get straight into it. I know everybody wants to know Honcho's take on what's going on with Diddy right now.
Did he do it?
Jesus Christ. click that first link for
The
me.
Diddler.
The
Diddler.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how the sound's gonna come out because
Did you try it? Did you connect it?
it's not letting me connect to this.
Hold on. We going.
Sorry, y'all.
Jeez, let me know.
You was talking.
No, I mean before the pod.
I just checked it. Okay, I think. No, but this is not a video.
All right. So we brought it up a post right now. Diddy, Los Angeles, Miami homes reportedly raided by Homeland Security as a part of an ongoing investigation. I've never heard of Homeland Security going on to investigate anybody. Usually it's handled by either FBI,
Mhm.
ATF, one of those letters. But Homeland Security, Diddy, what are you doing?
Yeah, you definitely
It's
breaking
wild.
some
That's
breaking some rules on American
It's
soil.
next level.
Like the president had to sign off on, so like somehow this president had to get involved.
facts.
And Biden is an old man. He can hardly remember
Oh,
his own
Jesus
name.
Christ.
Mm.
So let alone he's like, yeah, I'm gonna sign off on this Diddy thing. Like,
Yeah, it had to be some
But in the raid, they did say he has videos and things of that nature. There's a lot of well, in the lawsuit, he has it was a lot of politicians involved or whatever is going on. I don't know about this. Like, what do y'all think is going on? Why, Peaches? Why do you feel like they coming down on Diddy so crazy now?
You know what? Ever since the pandemic, which see, I'm your local conspiracy theory guru, you know. So ever since 2020, they've been saying that, like, you know, so many things were gonna come to the light, like so much evil that's been done under the radar for so long is gonna come out. So I think that we're just seeing the manifestation of that. And then if you think about it, it's been all the even years, like 2020, 2022, and now 2024, all the major shit happened. Like,
wait, what major shit happened in 2022?
I just said I don't be remembering stuff, and here you come asking me. What year did Kobe die?
We got a fact check.
In 19.
No, 2020.
It was 2020.
2020?
Yeah, before the right before the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I remember where I was at when that happened.
Yeah. It was Cody's birthday party. We was having a party that day, and then they had it on the news. My oldest son's birthday.
I'm trying to think. 2022 might have been that Epstein shit.
Yes, I think it was.
I think 2022 was Epstein's shit.
Either way, it's been major stuff to come out.
Not part of my, because I have a theory as well, but not part of my theory. But for some reason, I feel like Epstein is involved with this Diddy thing.
They're all connected.
They're
all the elites are connected. The politicians, the rappers, the singers, the elitists, the designers, Balenciaga, all of them.
That's what my take on it is. Honestly, I feel like right now, and throughout his entire career, Diddy is a pawn. He's a pawn in a bigger game. Like, he's a small fish. Yeah. That's why they're able to take him out and make an example of him the way that they are. Like, I do believe that all of the things that are coming out now are because certain people are speaking up, like Cat Williams. His interview really set things in an uproar, and there has been people who have spoken out about the industry and they've gotten quieted, or they're made to be crazy, or they're just saying that because their career didn't work out, but their career didn't work out because they spoke up, right? Because they decided to say something, because they didn't go to a party, because they didn't do certain things. So I definitely feel like Diddy is a pawn in this situation. And why now is because I feel like, just like R. Kelly, nobody's surprised by this information.
No,
like, we are learning more and more how sick this man is. But we could have all guessed this from when Aaliyah was alive.
The thing about it,
got my Aaliyah shirt on today, y'all. But we knew that these men were predators from back then. When? Last night we were watching a pod, and they brought up the interview with R. Kelly right before he had gotten indicted, when he did the interview with Gail.
Shout out to DJ Academics.
Yes, it was DJ Academics podcast. And they showed the clip of R. Kelly interviewing with Gail. And I said to Huncho, I'm like, we never once, like, not us, because I mean, at the time I was like a young teen kid, but nobody never thought that Trapped in the Closet was like, something was wrong with that. Like, we was bumping to that. We was learning
at school and everything.
We was learning every chapter. Like, I remember that time in my life. Like, I remember that time I don't know if I was in middle school or high school, but whenever that shit came out, me and my best friend, Nadia, shout out to you when you listen to this, we knew I could call my best friend right now and she would give me every part word for word. Like,
I didn't. The only reason I didn't know, we talked about that, and the only reason I didn't know every chapter is we watched it for sure, but my parents were super strict, so it only got so far before it was like, all right, you know. But
that's the thing. Like, I'm grateful that your parents was that strict, because my mom, I'm not gonna say she didn't give a fuck. She definitely did, but I had a young mom, so like, she didn't think. I wasn't as sheltered. Like, she definitely, protected me from the outside world, any outside harms. But like, entertainment, I was privy to everything. I could watch MTV, BET,
I was the same way.
TTE, TNT.
Yeah,
like
same
it
way.
don't matter. My mom did. She just in her mind like that. I'm raising my child this way. They know right from wrong. They know better.
Right.
Like my daughter know not to try me with certain shit. So
Right.
I don't give a damn what you watch on BET. I don't give a damn what you watch on MTV.
Facts.
Like that stuff didn't faze my mom. But I will say, even thinking about it, like as a teen, like why was I wanting to know every chapter? That was a sick fucking set of songs.
Yeah,
Because
you
we
get
didn't-
older and you start realizing how fucked up
Yeah.
it is. All them- it could have been like hidden messages in each chapter.
It's
and we wouldn't catch it all.
it's the same as, because honestly it's the same as the grooming of teenagers. It's why they prey on minors for, you know, their sick activities, because as a minor you're thinking that the attention from an older man is such a great thing. You know,
Yes.
there were the girls that had older boyfriends. Oh, my boyfriend is in college. He's a freshman in college. My boy, you 16 talking about your boyfriend 20, not knowing that nigga's a predator.
Yo, that's a
and
fact.
you're being
That's a
being groomed and statutory, you know, rape, molest. It's the same thing. So it's like at that age, you're still, as teenagers, it's like you know right from wrong, but also you're still not privy to the depth of sick shit that's out there. So at the end of the day, your mind is still not, you think about the fact that our minds aren't fully developed until you're 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So even when you're 18, 19, 20, you can still very well be groomed, manipulated, whatever, because you still think you know everything, and you don't know nothing. Like it ain't till you get our age, or you know, over 25, and you start thinking and like, okay, well, hold on, them lyrics, wait a minute, that was
for real. I was thinking about today too, and this is not switching lanes really, but I was having this thought today because I really do not support and cannot support Sexy Red. I just cannot support the image that she stands for Black women.
Oh my
and he knows how I feel about her. Like, she cannot even be played in this house, in his car, like
Get it sexy.
nothing.
Get
Stop
it
playing with me.
sexy.
That's the
but
only lines I like.
I was thinking, how and why do certain parents think that it's okay for their children to listen to shit like that? Like, I don't want to hear it in my grown ears.
Right.
But like what you listen to in the club in the spot is one thing. But I saw a video on X of a little girl twerking to Sexy Red.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it like this. Part of your parents' job is, and I'm not saying like how they think, but it could be a form of, this is why they allow it. Part of your parents' job is to protect you from bullying and stuff like that. So what's cool? What are kids doing? This is how the younger ones is probably thinking, because mom is still shaking that ass and grandma's probably still shaking that ass as well. So like, in order to, you know, my kid to be cool with certain things, you need to know how to do. I guess with these new age parents.
As a parent, I know.
I'm just playing another angle. Like,
yeah, I'm not a parent yet, and I have a young mother. My mom is 45. Shout out to her, and she gonna still be shaking the tail feather. She's a golden girl, and I'm gonna be a hot girl, even when I do have kids. But what I do is not what they do.
A lot of parents want to be friends with their children now.
They do,
Yeah,
and but it's
that's the problem.
It's sickening, because you think at 30, I'm looking at, if my friend, quote unquote friend, or you know, my peers are allowing their children, at knowing the world that we live in now and how sick people are, and you allowing your child to twerk
on the internet,
at whatever.
I mean, even off the internet, but
yeah, even off the internet. But I mean, in the privacy of your home is one thing.
Parent how you parent.
Yeah, like that's, you know, y'all in the privacy, ain't nobody looking, can't nobody see. They're free to be who they are. But at the same time, if you are putting it on the internet and you're allowing them to listen to this music that you know is perverted and all kind of other, like, mentally, I have to look at you like, what did you go through, like, that you haven't healed from? Like, what are you going through right now, like, that in your mind it's okay for you to put a child twerking on the internet to Sexy Red of all things, but especially just a child with everything that's coming out with these sick pedophiles, with, you know, Diddy and
Yeah,
game.
I was gonna dive into what I think my theory is.
Go ahead, babe.
I personally feel like Uncle Luke said it best. I was watching. Shout out again to DJ Academics. I was watching this podcast yesterday, and he brought up Uncle Luke, and I really feel like, just to sum it all up, I'm gonna get into a little bit more of my theory. I honestly feel like Diddy bit the hand that fed him. Honestly. The reason why I felt like that is Ciroc and De Leon. Y'all know that's his two main
That's his two,
liquor
yeah.
brands.
Mm-hmm.
It was owned by the parent company Diageo. And there was an article that came out in June 2023, so that's last year. That the Diageo, they were, kind of rigid on a relationship with Diddy because he wasn't handling his end of the responsibilities and the commitments, things in the contract. So what Diddy ended up doing is that Diddy sued Diageo at that time.
I remember that.
Remember that, right?
I think I heard that too.
He sued Diageo for racism.
Mm-hmm.
That had to have been around June of last year. Now, if y'all can remember, the lady, what is her name? Bella. I have her name some down here somewhere. The spiritual advisor, basically. Sloan Bella. If you looked at the timestamp of when her video came out, it came out of June of 2023, when Diddy put the racism allegations against Diageo.
Is this the same woman we watched with the KP allegations?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that video originally came out the same time that Diddy made the racism allegations against the parent company Diageo.
I'm not familiar with the video you talk about, but
The
I was
one
gonna
that
say
she
that.
said something was going to happen in November.
I don't know.
So I'll
I'll
give
send
you
it
a
to you.
back. There's a lot to it. I wish we had the clip. So she put out in June that she spoke to Kim Porter. As we know, rest in peace to Kim Porter. She's the mother of the twins
Mm-hmm.
and of Christian Combs,
Mm-hmm.
former ex-girlfriend of Diddy. She put out that Kim spoke to her, and I guess from the other side, Kim was giving her some revelations that something was going to happen to Diddy in November of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, that's when Cassie came out with a civil lawsuit against Diddy in November, and they settled out.
I got a clip there.
You got a clip? All right, play it.
And there are younger musicians that are going to come out against him and talk about what he did. The bodies that are buried, okay? So the bodies that are buried, they're going to talk about it. Talk about it. There are men in other countries who are going to speak about it. There is political connections to him in other countries and this country. They're going to speak about it. He will not be able to spend his money. That huge amount of wealth. I mean, what are you going to spend that on? But do you ever wonder why these people only donate to specific organizations in a specific way? And they're
So adding on to what she said, it just was pretty interesting to me that she mentioned in June 2023, around the same time that Diddy brought the lawsuit against Diageo. Now November happened, and then in November she mentioned that something was going to happen around Easter time to Diddy. Now, a lot of people, and I'm not saying that this lady's a hoax, a fake, anything remotely, close to that. I take everything in face value. This is the era of clout. Not saying that's what she's doing, but there's a lot of things that, to me, it's gonna. People always say the internet is undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one thing that can defeat the internet and change the perspective of people's minds is when everyone realizes everything everyone does on the internet is for clout. I think clout is going to be the destruction of the internet and social media.
I don't like to refer to myself as a conspiracy theorist, but I have watched a lot of her predictions, and when they are dated for versus when things are happening, like, I only believe in one power, and that is the power of God, Jesus Christ himself.
Amen.
But this lady she's spiritually connected. She is talking to people, and she has talked to people, whether they are dead or alive. She knows what she's talking about. Like,
there's people like that in the Bible.
I have to give this lady her credit. Sloan Bella is her name.
Mm-hmm.
if you go watch just a few of her videos, like she's not a person that she is trying to connect to like the spiritual realm and get you to see things through her lens. She's literally just telling things as she sees them, and they make sense. Like they just make sense. It's not in a like way that's trying to pull you towards like, hey, believe what I'm saying, or you know, I'm like, she's not referencing like too much religiously, like that she is hearing from God or these things are coming from God. Like she is saying, no, this is so and so person, their spirit speaking to me. This in this situation, like these are the names that they're giving me. This is what I'm seeing. Like these certain signs and messages are happening around me in the present that let me know like this is confirmation for this stuff. And then the shit that's coming out and happening is like, versus when she's posting these videos and when they're dated, it makes sense.
Have y'all like realized or noticed how like spiritual everything has gotten in the last couple of years? I won't even say since 2020, probably since 2022. Like in the last year or so, how many people have come to God. A lot of people have, you know, reclaimed Jesus Christ. A lot of people have,
because we live in scary times.
Yes,
and he is literally our only savior.
Somebody pointed out that Diddy, like a lot of people that was under Diddy in the 90s, literally went to the church.
But also, like, it's a lot of people are.
The Lord is our only savior.
Yeah, a lot of people have pointed out how, like, basically we are in a spiritual warfare, and so you either
absolutely
you're on one side or the other. It always baffles me when I see people like, you know, talking about, oh well, you know, you worship Sky Daddy and this and that, and like these biblical scholars or whatever, that so-called biblical scholars.
Sky Daddy?
Yeah, that's what people be calling God.
Episode title, or write that down, please.
Sky Daddy, y'all be worshiping your Sky Daddy, and I'd be like, y'all, that's crazy because
B, you gonna be the episode namer because this is the second angle you done named.
Oh snap!
Angleton is Peter Pinhole. It really is. I promise you. Go watch Angleton if you haven't watched that yet.
You definitely need to do that. But yeah, like this is a time where so many people have come back to God, come back to me myself, because I stopped going to church 9 years, 10 years ago, a long time ago. I haven't been to church.
We can get in that topic. Let's not get off. Let's not get too far off. I just want to get into this last little thing. It was pretty interesting to see this, that Michael Jackson's death is connected to Diddy. I guess Candace Owens came out with a little clip on her podcast. She's no longer at the Daily Wire. Shout out to Candace Owens. Like, I know this household loves her. Like, I'm sorry, she has some weird,
stuff, but
I love
legit.
Candace Owens.
I love
really do.
She's
Candace
real.
Owens. Shout out to you, Candace. If you want to come to All Angles Podcast, we would love to have you.
Please. Is this? I don't think the sound is on.
I was waiting for you to finish your intro. Let me restart it. Okay.
Lawsuit that we have been covering and following, so much being revealed. You're not going to believe that somehow it is connected to Michael Jackson and his death. And I got to be honest, I'm kind of terrified. I think this is going to be the last day that I cover it. I thought that we were in full conspiracy theory territory when people were saying that Michael Jackson was killed. I actually know a lot of people that are in the industry who believe that Michael Jackson was killed. And I just thought, it just sounds too whacked out to believe that somebody intentionally killed Michael Jackson. Now, I want to remind you, before we get back into Michael Jackson, what we learned in the Diddy document. If you read through them, again, these are all allegations, but you will come out of it understanding that there is allegedly some sort of a blackmail ring that is operating throughout Hollywood, and that artists that are producing music are actually being controlled via being induced into drugs at parties, and then what takes place is they're being recorded, and sometimes they're being recorded while they are committing sexual acts with minors. And something that we also saw in these docs is that these parties, at least a lot of them, are taking place in the Virgin Islands, which again just makes you go, what's happening here? Because Jeffrey Epstein, obviously, his home, or he owned an island that was just off the coast of St. Thomas. So we hear that again. And I'd say the biggest point that we took away from these Diddy docs was that this ring, if you believe it exists, can and will murder people to protect themselves. And he intimated this event that happened allegedly at a recording studio where Diddy and his son allegedly shot someone, and it was covered up by the LAPD and then the media. Within those docs, and this is where it gets relevant, there is one man that is named as being the person that can do the cleanup. So in these docs, it says, Mr. Combs instructs his staff to always contact Mr. Muhammad, that is Fahim Muhammad, if they are ever pulled over by the police in Miami or California. Diddy and his son shot someone. And after that shooting, the documents say explicitly that Mr. Muhammad spoke with the LAPD after G was shot at the recording studio. The LAPD was in the recording studio and witnessed the blood in the restroom, and they went with the bogus claim that the shooting of G occurred outside of the studio. This was all thanks to Mr. Muhammad's connections within law enforcement, allegedly. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The cleanup guy, Mr. Fahim Muhammad, was also on the scene when Michael Jackson died. So I want to introduce you to and allow you to listen to Ian Carroll. He's an independent journalist that is investigating everything that is going on, and he explains that connection.
So this new lawsuit just came out that shows tons of evidence that P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, has been running a sexual blackmail operation very much like Jeffrey Epstein, but in the rap and music industry for basically 30 years. And in that lawsuit, we learned that his head of security while he's running the sexual blackmail ring is this guy named Fahim Muhammad, who before working for Diddy was the head of security for Michael Jackson when he was only 21. And he was one of the first people on the scene when Michael Jackson died. And before we go to Michael Jackson, the most important part of the Diddy case to bring across is the fact that the record executives at the very top knew what P. Diddy was doing. They were attending the parties with underage girls where they were spiking drinks. They were deeply involved in Diddy's personal life, and all evidence points to them supporting his operation.
The lawsuit that we have been covering and following, so much being revealed, you're not going to.
I just wanted to throw that out there. Have y'all think about it? Can you imagine if Diddy was involved with Michael Jackson's murder somehow?
That'd be crazy. That'd definitely be crazy.
Well, how about Biggie's?
I need to watch what I say on here, but I'm gonna say that I am a little overconfident that there's a hand in Biggie's death by the
100%.
Didster. But I will say, and this connection, very job well done, Mr. Journalist. I love how you did that there, how you connected that. However, I will say that it's a bit of a reach to say that Diddy personally may be involved in Michael Jackson's murder. I think that Diddy is a small piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
There's a bigger hand in this that's moving these pieces around the chessboard, including Fahim Muhammad or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
And I just say that off the simple fact that now he appears to be an attorney of some sort, Mr. Muhammad. But when he was 21 and worked with Michael Jackson, they said he was the head of security.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that whoever the powers that be are that are really in control of this shit, Michael Jackson was likely murdered. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe that he committed,
I believed that for years.
suicide or overdosed or whatever, however they say the cause of death is for Michael Jackson. He was definitely murdered by the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't go as far as to say that Diddy is responsible for it. But the other names you mentioned?
I'm about to say, you can say that about a lot of rappers, though. A lot of people in the industry could be taken out by the music industry and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And have been.
Yeah.
If you bite the hand that feeds you, that's just basically what they'll do to you.
Yeah.
But like, let's hypothetically say, and now they're not saying he's responsible, but in connection. And this is my idea of connection. You know how everyone in the music industry is all connected to each other. So Sony's CEO Tommy Mottola at the time, this is the Michael Jackson and Sony situation, which we had the clip, but Michael Jackson basically called the CEO for Sony the devil.
Yep.
We all know there's some dark, demonic stuff going on, who's who, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because all of this connected, Tommy Mottolas, and these are people that have billions.
Mm-hmm.
So the Tommy Mottolas, the Diddy's, and that
Clive
nature.
Davis.
So it's like, I need, and listen, everyone, this is we just doing conspiracy stuff. That's all. This is not real, just throwing things out there. So imagine Tommy Mottola had the idea of ending transitioning Michael, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of connection, somebody's going to say, yo, let's call because he knows somebody that can clean it all up and make it look like an accident. That's where I think the connection lies.
Yeah.
Like we know somebody. Like that's the networking of the higher ups where we never see their faces, but behind closed doors, they're making all of the decisions.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we're just pawn pieces at this point.
Yeah.
The industry is pretty nasty, honestly, and
100%.
And I don't. My thing is, I think we were just talking about this the other day. Like, I don't want to be insanely wealthy, rich. I want to be comfortable where I can take care of the next generation of my family and teach them to do the same thing. Because I always feel like to be that 1%, you have to do some 99% of your life. Got to be some evil shit because everyone is trying to get to that 1%.
And your kids is going to be involved whether you want them to or whether they want to be or not. Like, I read the court proceedings, all 72 pages actually. So I'm like very privy to the charges being brought up against Diddy and so many others. But I thought it was interesting. I didn't see Christian Combs named at all in the documents. But Justin is all up and throughout. So, I mean, I don't know that any of them are guilty. I don't know who's innocent. But I say that to say I don't know that Christian is innocent per se, or if, I don't know like what his position in this entire playing field is, simply because he was not a named predator in these documents. But I find it interesting that you can be in that household and around, all of these things, and how do you not fall victim?
I'm not gonna lie. It makes, when he got that DUI charge and his mom went crazy, it makes that hit a bit different now. Cause Justin got a DUI charge, and then his mom went on a social media rant saying, I don't know, I mean, there's a lot going on out there. You know what's going on. That's when Kamora Lee Simmons came to social media and was like, oh, we letting out information. Like, we're going to start talking. Because, she dated Russell Simmons, of course. But it lets me know that the mom might have not had that same control that Kim Porter did. Because Kim was in an industry. I'm not too familiar I know who Justin's mom is, but in terms of the industry, I'm not too familiar with that. However, Kim Porter was in the industry. She dated Albie Shore.
It gives you a different perspective too about how Kanye acts about his kids. Because he's fighting like hell to keep them out.
You don't want them on none of that.
Yeah. So it gives you
he knows how evil it is.
Absolutely. But Kanye been fighting for his own life for the longest, so it's always interesting when people be calling him crazy and stuff, and then you see things like this about Diddy and his kids and the whole industry and stuff, and how their kids are involved in the dealings, and how Kanye is fighting.
Anybody who speaks truth is crazy. Baby, you I just want to make sure you said your last thoughts about the Diddy situation. I do want to stay in the entertainment and just move on to the next topic that I thought about as we were speaking.
I just want to say one last thing, and then just go as soon as I say this. I was thinking about a lot of songs in the industry that was made, and a lot of people now that has come out to be, pretty aggressive towards women, might have had, sexual assault in their past that hasn't been reported until now. One working with Diddy and stuff like that, and they went through a whole lyric breakdown. I can't remember this guy's name, but for some weird reason, I was thinking of an Avant song. It's called "Don't Say No, Say Yes." I'm just leave on that. Y'all do what y'all want to do with that. I'm not gonna say after that. Y'all do what y'all want to do.
Well, staying on the spectrum of entertainment, have you guys had a chance to see Quiet on Set, the documentary about the Nickelodeon stars?
No.
Just
Oh
been hearing
my
about it.
goodness.
Yeah, I've been
Y'all have
hearing
to
about
check
it, but I
out.
haven't. Nah.
It's heartbreaking.
It really is truly heartbreaking. I will say, as a 90s child who grew up watching all of these shows, I mean, from literally, I was born in 96, so I grew up from all that already being on to the birth of iCarly and all these other shows that was on. Drake and Josh was my shit. Like, Drake and Josh was my shit.
Yeah.
And the details and things that I learned watching this documentary, and like they showed a lot of clips of older episodes and subtle nuances that obviously as a child we missed, but now watching it in my adulthood, I'm like, what the fuck? I was
Hit
watching
different.
this, like this, they were having to do this, like. And one thing that really stuck with me as I watched it is I was a Disney kid, but I was also a Nick kid. I liked, entertainment and TV and shit like that. But I always wanted to go on these auditions. Like they used to have them. I went to school upstate in Albany. So they used to have them in Albany a lot, at the Marriott Hotel, at the what was the other hotel they used to have them at? I don't remember. But they used to have them at the Marriott Hotel, and they used to have them in like the freaking, ballroom and stuff. I used to look up all of this stuff because I'm very techie. Tell my mom would be like, yeah, we could go. Day come, she'd be like, girl, we ain't going to that shit. Like, I just said that to get on my face. And I'm like, why would you lie to me? Like, I could be the next Raven. Like, I could be that girl. I could have been Zendaya. Like, I could have been that girl. But I say all that to say, my mom be knowing what she be talking about. Like, she was protecting me because, boy, these pedophiles. I'm going to show a clip. And this is of Dan Schneider, who is the creator of all the shows I just mentioned. iCarly, Drake and Josh, Sam and Cat.
Yeah.
What was the other
Amanda
one?
Bynes.
Yes, the Amanda Show. He's discovered a lot of our favorite childhood stars. But he was not the sweetest peach on the tree.
Very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret, and I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation.
You've written hundreds of episodes. Thousands of jokes have been told.
Yeah.
But currently where we are, some people think that some of those jokes are inappropriate for children. What do you think of that?
All these jokes that you're speaking of, that the show covered over the past 2 nights, every one of those jokes was written for a kid audience because kids thought they were funny. And only watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors.
For me on all of that, named Noseboy. Naturally, I'm in a superhero costume, which is just tights and underwear. What was different about this? They gave me a prosthetic nose, like an enlarged nose, and they put this same nose on the costume. I'm Captain Big Nose. What are your special powers? You can't help but notice that it looks like penis and testicles on my shoulders.
That's wild.
This is a child playing this role, and he's playing it for other children.
You got your whole big toe in your mouth? Check this out. Sometimes I wonder if you can get juice from a potato.
Nah, this shit is wild.
Is it possible for a teenage girl to drink water upside down?
That's why they had her acting stupid.
I'm thirsty. It's not possible. This has been me.
How do a bunch of grown men just sit around and like get off on that?
Enjoy that.
People, some freaky people out here, man.
People sick.
I was very disturbed to learn like a lot of the secrets on set.
That's okay. I haven't seen it, but it makes so much sense as to why they always had Ariana Grande acting so stupid and clueless.
I never seen her show.
I wasn't a Sam and Cat girly, honestly.
I didn't like Sam and Cat, but on Victorious, she acted.
I
Diddy
wasn't
and
really a Victorious
Ditsy.
fan either.
I loved Victorious. Victorious was my like iCarly, but Victorious, like, that was my show, and she always acted real dumb.
I'm not gonna lie, and this may be a little bit of a spoiler alert, but the one thing about the documentary that hurt me the most is Drake's father. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I heard about that.
because
I didn't hear about that one.
I'm not gonna spoil it too much for y'all because I really want y'all to watch it.
Nah, fuck that. They're gonna find out.
Yeah, you might as well say it.
Yeah, I heard
You want
about
me to
the.
tell him?
I heard about the Drake.
So long story short, Drake's father was there obviously for protection for his underage son.
Mm.
I can't remember this guy's name. Brian Peck.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Peck basically caused Drake to turn on his father, spreading lies that your father's taking your money. He's the reason why you're not going to get to the stardom you need to get to, which I can see. And as Brian Peck said. Then once he convinced Drake of the lies that he was spreading about his father, Brian Peck began managing Drake. Next thing you know, Drake began telling us, soon, a lot of things started getting weird, wanting to hang out, be at all of his concerts, just things that it's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he mentioned it to him once. Brian was just like, I'm just really interested in trying to get you to the top. One thing led to another. Drake mentioned that the sexual assault was getting pretty like rough now. It went from talking about it, showing you little things, to actually and
violating him.
Yeah, and this is
sodomy.
Sodomizing. Wait, before we even mention all of that, what's the trigger alert? Trigger alert. So like, yeah, he began sodomizing him, forced fellatio, stuff like that. So when Drake I guess when he got a bit older, at this time he was around 15 years old, he ended up, talking to his mom, just regular stuff like nothing is happening. And then he just unleashed on the phone one time about what was going on. Mom ended up finding out, getting the law enforcement involved. I'm skipping over a couple of things because it's pretty long-winded because he had a girlfriend in between that the mom knew what was happening, but I don't want to get too much into that.
Yeah.
I'm just focused on the parents. Then once it came out about the sexual assault, because he was a minor, his name was redacted. The father said to Drake, well, I'm glad that I got you out of there before that happened to you. Lo and behold, him saying that to his son is the one that it happened to.
And he didn't know during the time of the trial. Like, the mom never told him what had happened or what was going on, that he was like going through trial for all of this, because back then when this happened, the media wasn't as big, so it's not like TMZ was out taking pictures and following him around. Like, he was able to pretty much keep it on the hush hush. His dad actually found out like a couple of years ago, I want to say in the process of them like making this documentary type of thing, is when he found out, and he was like, it just opened up a completely new wound for him, because here he was like, he took a step back from being his son's manager because he felt like whatever to make him happy. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make my son happy. And in that, his son was like brutally violated.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about their private life, but one thing that sparked me very interesting, and it didn't dawn on me until the end of the documentary, but Drake's mother, I think they showed one picture, but she wasn't in the doc. No photos. So that literally led me to believe like Drake, and this is just speculation, Drake probably literally blames her for all of that happening. Because you got to just watch it. Like, you got to just watch it, and then y'all find out what's going on.
And the last thing I just want to say about the Quiet on Set documentary, because this is something that really disturbed me as an Amanda Bynes fan. But do you guys remember this character, Penelope Taint? She was like the wacky one. Penelope Queen.
Yeah.
She was like the wacky one. I think she was in like the courtroom and stuff. And she was no, she wasn't in the courtroom. She was like a school, like, I don't know exactly what her character was. Yeah, she was just annoying, and her voice was annoying. But Penelope Taint was my girl. Do y'all know what the meaning of taint is?
No.
Okay. Taint is the area between the anus and the posterior part of the external genital.
I was about to say, the body part.
Yeah. It's like
that's just wild.
The part, like, I guess between the butt and the gooch.
Yeah.
What? That's wild.
I just don't understand how a bunch of grown men just find this comfortable to do.
Confirmed.
How did the adults
listen? It's confirmed that that's like the meaning that he was going for, because there was 2 writers that were on the documentary Quiet on Set that admitted that he said to them, and the producers had questioned, like, is this, the meaning? And he's like, no, like, to taint something, like, like, why would y'all even go there or whatever? But then he told the writers, like, in confidence, like, that's really is the meaning that I was going for, but like nobody's gonna guess that kind of thing.
That's funny as hell, because Penelope was really an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like her character was an asshole.
That's crazy. That's so wild.
I like how you just tied that in.
Yo, that's wild.
Nah, the way you just drew that conclusion.
That's nasty.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get okay. No, it makes sense that the adults weren't like, hold the fuck up. Because, I mean, when you hear it, it's like, oh. Taint.
Yeah, when you hear it. But if you actually knew the meaning, like they knew the meaning and he admitted to it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you see the spelling of it.
Right.
Then you think it's a last name, honestly. Just a last name.
Yeah.
Like,
and no, that's the actual spelling of the word.
T-A-Y-N-T?
Yeah.
Can't be.
No, I'm lying. It's T-A-I-N-T. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's what I'm about to say. Like, can't be.
No, okay, hold on, wait. Because you have tainted, like it's.
I mean, that part, they don't see the light of day. It's probably generally dark.
Dictionary app.
Words be having multiple meanings.
Yeah,
to contaminate morally, to touch or affect slightly with something bad, to become affected with putrefaction, to spoil, to become weak. And okay, so this is a vulgar slang. The area between the anus and the posterior part of the external genitalia.
That's the one they.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a slang. Because I was like, wait a minute.
That's the one they went with.
Yeah, he's a freaking creepo. So is Brian Peck and any other creepos out there that are violating underage women. I hope that they catch you all, like Ash. Okay. Gotta catch them all.
Let's move on to the next topic. So one of the things that has been going on in New York recently is the immigration. I don't want to call it an issue, but just it's been the immigration epidemic, epidemic, because it's one area. So we're about to play a video right now.
I'm sorry. Let me restore.
Do you feel like mass immigration is now an issue, and why?
It's an issue because they're using mass immigration specifically to undermine foundational Black Americans. And this is a tactic that they've always used, even after slavery, when they saw the freedmen doing so well. When we got out of slavery, we cut our literacy rate in half. We started getting businesses. We got the Freedmen's Bank, and we were putting millions of dollars in the bank. So they were monitoring the progress of foundational Black Americans. And they said, hey, wait a minute. These folks will eventually take over because they have all the skills. They know how to work the agrarian culture. These people are doing their thing, so we need to slow that down. So they opened the floodgates with immigration. That's when the immigration started happening, 1880s, right after slavery, and they started bringing all of these European immigrants here, and they started opening up the western frontier to give them free land with the Homestead Act. Black people couldn't get access to that, so they gave a lot of European immigrants a free ride over here.
Absolutely.
Just to undermine us. They're doing the same
Do you feel like mass immigration
thing now? We're becoming more politically sophisticated as black people.
Of course.
Now we're not voting for no Popeye's chicken no more. We're like, hey, we're going to have to get something tangible for our vote. They're like, okay, you hold your beer. Here's a bunch of immigrants. Venezuela, everybody come over. So now they're flooding black neighborhoods with all of these people who are not being vetted. And now there's a pushback. Now they're talking about they might need to close the border because now the dominant society is saying, hey, wait, enough is enough.
Absolutely.
So if you're going to bring people over, it has to be done in a proper perspective. If you're just opening up the floodgates, they're letting all types of criminals from South America come in here. They're doing all types of weird stuff. So there's pushback and rightfully so.
Now, do you feel
now we're becoming more political?
How do y'all feel about that?
I feel like it's true. The thing about it is, it started with, there's a chicken in every pot. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that, but my mom always talks about how, who was that? It wasn't Roosevelt. One of them presidents, I forget which one, was talking about putting a chicken in every pot and, the black community and welfare, which you used to not even be able to have a man in the house when you got, food stamps or, healthcare, whatever. And, that pushed the black men out of the home, which allowed them to come in and make independent black women, which then, led to us, being far more educated and owning our own businesses and being these independent women that we are today. And so now that we are becoming more successful as a society, they like, oh, okay, hold on 1 second. Like he said, like, all right, cool. Well, these Venezuelans, these Mexicans, these El Salvadorians, these whoever from, South, these Europeans, these Africans, whoever they're bringing, these Middle Eastern, whoever, like, come on. Because their vote is getting too strong. Their voice is getting too loud. Like, it's very much a thing. He's not imagining things. As a single mom of, well, no longer single, but before we got together, as a single mom of 4, I tried to get back on food stamps like a few months ago. They not giving black women us food stamps like they were. Those are going to these Hispanics, these immigrants that are getting this free housing and these food stamps and this health care and this all the things. So it's not, no, that ain't no, we ain't.
So I think I completely agree with everything that you're saying, and I wholeheartedly agree with everything that he said. I really feel like the destruction of our foundation in the black community is something that you brought up, and it's fatherless homes. It's black men not being inside of the home. But I do feel that now, a lot of black women have found their workaround, and we have adapted that or adopted that I'm an independent woman, I don't need no man, single mother, single woman mentality, and like we're doing bad all by ourselves kind of thing. So now they have to bad. Now they have to cut the cord. Like now they're not going to help with certain things because, y'all think y'all got it. Like we were controlling y'all without the men, but y'all figured it out on top of the help. No, now we're going to make sure that you want and you need for more kind of thing.
I appreciate that angle. So the way I feel about it, honestly, is that I feel like we're in an age now that the black ethnic race, whatever, because it's only black in America. It's not like that anywhere else on the globe. But blacks in America, we are finally waking up to realize how jaded and how fucked up the political ecosystem is to us in America. So a lot of us, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from those that are part of the political ecosystem that are black, but I'm telling you as an everyday person that is affected based off of the decisions that are made in America. We're waking up to realize now nothing in the Constitution, any of the amendments, Bill of Rights, whatever was for us. Just 250 years ago, excuse me, not 250 years ago, just 200 and some odd years ago, we just basically became a human in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had to go through the 3/5 compromise. We had to go through so much just to be identified
as a person,
as a human being, as a contributor to society when we built this nation. So I genuinely feel like we are waking up to realize, you know what? We're going to play this game with y'all. Y'all don't want to write us in the Constitution to protect us. Y'all protecting a lot of these other communities. So cool. Y'all forcefully immigrated us from our homeland. Y'all showed it was nothing for us here. So we're not going to be part of it anymore. Now America is panicking because the black vote is very important to see which way we're swaying now, so they can work opposite of whatever we're thinking. Because if they want us on social service, there's going to be a Republican in there to strip all of that. If they want us back on social service for whatever reason to separate the black families even more, it's going to be a Democrat back in there. That's the difference between the grandfather parties of Republican and Democrat. Republicans want small government. They don't want no taxes. And I want a lot of people just to hear this fact and do what you want. Republicans don't want no taxes, free market enterprise, businesses, things of that nature. That's why when Donald Trump was the president, or whoever's a Republican was president, a lot of the rich people was happy as shit.
Because they wasn't getting taxed.
Basically, Republicans are saying, motherfucker, get up and work. Just work.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats believe in strong government, somewhat close to fascism in the fact that we control everything and y'all we give it to y'all to split evenly. So they say.
Amongst y'all.
Oh, so they say.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they say a lot of times Democrats is very comparable to communism.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm gonna speak on the benefits of Democrats. You're having a hard time getting a job. Your husband, you have 4 kids. You can't make ends meet, but they got a lot of programs for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get that help, X, Y, and Z, this, that, and the third. So there are benefits to both grandfather parties. The issue is their goal is bigger than us. That's what we are realizing now. It's not about us. Social media has made that very apparent. 2016, when Donald Trump was running for president, is the first time that presidency has gotten so integrated into social media.
And now they run over it.
So now, not only can a non-politician run, now everyone out the woodwork think they can run.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you know what that causes? For us to believe that America is a joke.
Yeah,
this is unfucking believable. Donald Trump. I don't know how someone, and don't get me wrong, he wasn't a great president. He wasn't a bad president. In terms of business, he was a good president because if you wanted to start a business when he was in office, he stripped a lot of the regulations and this, that, and the third that you need to do. Prime example, if you wanted to start a food cart, I personally believe the only thing you need to do is have your license that you can handle food, clean, and distribute the food. That is it. From working in the city of New York, part of my job, I'm not going to mention it, I had to bleep it out the last angle. Part of my job was to make sure that people was, doing the right thing. The hot dog carts and whatever you see. I don't know if you ever been to New York, but like stuff like that. So Republicans believe they can be there and not pay anything. However, they just need to have, cleaning whatever.
Yeah.
In terms of the Democrat, and I'm just giving y'all this in terms of how it's analyzed and acted on. The Democrats believe they need to have about 16 licenses. You need to have money handling license. You need to have this, that license, blah, 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 blah. Now, a lot of people that don't want to get up and work, they sway towards Democrat. Now, in order for the Democrats to remain in office, because God forgive me, but Biden isn't doing shit.
No, yeah.
So let me give you the play. I think in the next 25 years, I don't even think this. I know in the next 25 years, Hispanics is going to be the majority in this country.
For sure.
100%.
Now, the thing about it is, the growing population of the Hispanics has been a thing since the late 70s, early 80s. Pockets everywhere in the United States. Like in Montana, they have a big Mexican community. Did not fucking know that. Why is there a big Mexican community in Montana?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Like,
I didn't know that either.
no matter where
nobody talks about what's in Montana,
right? and no one really gets too involved in like the Latino affairs. You realize a lot of things in this country is just black and white, and I don't mean that like in the abstract. I literally mean like black people, white people.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't really mention the Hispanics too much,
or the Asians.
So that's why it leads me to believe, because everything that they do against the people, in my personal belief, is literally against blacks.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
because they have divided us in every way, in every which possible way that they could, so much that we simply cannot seem to unite.
You know what it is? I'm not to cut you off. I just want to say one thing. You know what it is? It's one of those things like you ever had like a rumor start and then you find out that the rumor like or whatever the case may be, but you find out it's all a lie.
Yeah,
it's like,
for sure.
you know what I'm saying? It's all a lie, right? So like I feel like right now that's what's going on in America. Like we're conversing with one another. A lot of things is being shown on social media, and we're realizing like, yo, this shit is
a lie. Yeah.
So now America has to play Captain Save-A-Ho and align themselves with as a refugee center for other nations, which is why we're seeing so much money given to Ukraine, Israel, etc. Because the first great forceful immigration was it didn't work. It didn't work out because we like fuck that. Like we're not tolerating that shit. While whitewashing other generations is now bellowing out, and because whites are not having as many children as other ethnic backgrounds, and Roe v. Wade isn't going to work in their favor, let's put our nose in everyone's business outside of this nation to make this now a safe haven for them. So now when they come here, they got to deal with 50 years of getting whitewashed, and then that 50 years of trying to reintegrate in a real society.
But now we are looking at a great migration of black people out of this country as well.
I had that as the topic too. Like, would you move to Africa?
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
And pack my kids up so quick.
But the interesting thing is, so I'll probably still act this in the future if we have, other people here. Would you move to Africa? Just think about it. But like, now, the interesting thing is, a lot of people feel that Africa is like what they see on TV. Feed the children, flies on people's shoulders. There's places like that here. I personally feel like they probably fucking around recorded that shit somewhere in America.
For sure.
Honestly, that might have been Montana.
Yeah, right.
That might have been Montana.
Very well could have been.
But I genuinely feel that they are using other nations as a ploy to keep this is just me doing research. Using other nations as a ploy to get them to come here to keep the Democrats in office, because like I said, if the Democrats isn't, and I'm not Democrat nor Republican. I said this on the last angle. I'm independent. Actually, I'm not. I believe none of this shit. So if we get them to come over here because Biden isn't doing shit, and he played Captain Save-A-Ho, and they start getting voters' rights, guess what? Democrats get to stay in office.
Yep.
That shit is nasty. Like, it's crazy when you think about how much of a game this is in the country. Like, we was talking about something last night with Canada. Canada, bless you. Canada is the first country to do something. And Peaches said to me, yeah, America just want us to die. But it was something very simple.
They do.
Like,
they've been wanting that. When they start putting refined sugar and processed foods, that's literally the goal, is to kill us.
Like, why did certain countries outlaw a lot of food?
There's over 300 of our chemicals or ingredients, additives, hormones, whatever you can think of that they put in our food. Over 300 of them that are banned in other countries, such as, pretty much all the countries in Europe, as well as down under, Australia, and down under.
Honestly, if you travel too, like, it makes so much sense if you're a traveler why things may not appeal to you in other countries. Like, sometimes when I go to other countries, I'm like, damn, this is too fresh. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because it's
But
so processed and
it's
watered
because
down
I'm
here.
used to processed and watered down shit. Like
Yeah.
even cooking at home, like we don't eat out too often. I make a lot of home cooked meals. But there is so much different ingredients in like what we have versus what they have. Even going somewhere and getting something simple as like their version of Chips Ahoy or their
They
version
put
of
warning
Oreo
labels
or like
on foods that come from America. They in other countries they put warning labels. You know how like, here they put California, the state of California has deemed this a cancer causing food. In other countries, they put a big ass label that says basically this came from America and
Eat
these
at your own
ingredients are poisonous.
eat at your own risk.
And the thing of it's crazy because as many travel advisories as they have, a lot of Black people are migrating to Hispanic countries. You talk about like Mexico City is now Mexico City is now like a hub of Black expat families. Like I forget what city in Spain or what place in Spain, but Spain is now also becoming like a Black expat hub. Like there are a lot of Hispanic countries. I want to say, what is it? It wasn't Guatemala. It was. I'm trying to remember. I think one of them was Guatemala. So like you have all these migrants, these immigrants coming from these Hispanic countries, and the Black people are going to their countries to get away from
them,
the attacks on Black people in America.
Listen, shout out to everyone out there. Listen, if I had the audacity to get up and get out of America, I really would do so. Where would I go? Probably
There's
Ghana,
options.
Ghana, South America. Well,
South America is one of the places that people are going. There's a few spots in South America that people are getting to.
I know a lot of people's moving to Brazil. Like a lot of people's going to Brazil, honestly, because
I was shocked when I learned that Mexico is like one of the main places. Like people are moving to Mexico. Like
some
what?
people probably go on vacation there and never come back.
One of my mom's hairstylists, excuse me, I'm stuttering. Her and her wife actually have dual citizenship and another like home in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go visit South Africa. I gotta see South Africa.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, for sure.
I heard it's pretty beautiful over there. But yeah, moving right along. Oh, this next one is pretty good. Ladies. Ladies.
You don't care about slavery or the Holocaust.
Oh, Mabel.
All I know is I always loved making my Clarence a plate.
What's that, Grandma?
Well, when we came up, it was different from the way it is now. When a Black man went out into the world, they treated him like he wasn't a man. So the least I could do when Clarence came home was make him a plate. Make him feel like he was somebody. Let him know that somebody loved him, even though the world didn't. I don't care.
That's real shit.
That is real shit. And I just want to say, and B, I do want you to comment on this too, but this is a very interesting topic to me because I am 27. My man is 33. And we've been together for 2 years. And we moved across the country together after a year of being together. But since we've lived together, I can say 5 out of 7 days I cook a meal 2, maybe 3 times a day, as much as the day permits for us to eat or what have you. 1, because I enjoy cooking. 2, because I was raised that a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. 3, I feel like we both, myself and my man, we come from cooking backgrounds, like cooking households. His mother cooks her ass off. My mother cooks her ass off. So like this is what we know. And the fact that we are away from our family, he's away from his mother, I'm away from my mother, like it's a piece of home for me to cook my man a home cooked meal. I also enjoy fixing his plate because he is the king of this castle. Like he's the protector, he's the provider, he's who holds me down, he's who I talk to, who I lean on. And it takes nothing out of my day. It's very simple for me to make his plate. And I know the girls is gonna cancel me for this. B, I'm gonna let you comment right after this, but I'm probably gonna get canceled for this. But I plan to make this man's plate every day until the day that we are not dating together. And that's going to be a long way from now. But even when we have children, I will still serve my man his plate, and I will serve him his plate first because he is the man of the house. And I know y'all going to cancel me for this. Whatever. Don't really care.
Didn't somebody try to come at you on social media about that?
Yes. I should have prefaced it with that. So the reason why I brought up the reasons why I do enjoy making my man's plate, bringing him his plate and cooking for him is because someone actually commented to me on Instagram and asked why I cook every day or why I cook so much and we're just dating. And I honestly didn't respond to the person because it pissed me off. I ended up responding on my story with all of the reasons that I just listed. But I also feel that as women, sometimes social media could get you psyched out of the future that you really desire. Because I don't quite know how, if a wife is your goal, being a wife is your goal, I don't know how you expect to get there without doing the things that a wife would do. There's definitely certain things that you should keep to yourself until you get that ring. But y'all don't want to keep those things to yourself. Let's be honest. The one thing that you shouldn't be doing before you get married, y'all are doing willingly and openly. So cooking my man a plate, I don't think it's gonna get me the I don't think it's gonna psych me out of my ring.
It's just interesting.
I'm manifesting the ring, actually.
It's interesting because if a man comes out and says, I'm not spending no money on her unless she's my wife, what do y'all think social media and the rest of Black America would say?
Getting killed.
But why is the question. Why would we get attacked if that's how we feel?
Because because as a man courting a woman who you see as your possible future, part of that is spending some money, whether it be on some flowers, whether it be on some sandwich meat and some bread so y'all can go have a picnic in the park in a blanket, whether it be you're going to spend some type of money. So saying, oh, I'm not spending no money on you, listen,
So we asking this question to the woman that says, I'm not cooking for a man that I'm just dating. To that, man says, I'm not spending no money on a girl that I'm just dating.
And to that,
what's to that?
And both of those are crazy to me, babe.
Okay.
When did I start cooking? When did I first cook for you?
What the first night I came over?
Look, day one.
Hello.
The first night I came over.
I knew it.
I said, and the thing about I just really started cooking for real, because again, I live in my parents' house. A lot of times, my mom or my dad would do the cooking, and it wasn't that I couldn't cook; I just didn't. And I would cook for my kids, and once I did start cooking more, I find that I enjoy cooking. I have something in mind, a taste that I'm like, listen, I'm gonna make it. My parents are a lot older than everybody else is, so they really elders now. So it's like, all right, cool. Like I'm gonna take over the cooking. But also, when he came along and I got the feeling that I got, I was like, ain't no way I'm not go.
There's
Listen.
a joy that you get giving your man his plate.
What?
Like refilling
And
his
my
glass.
people are, it's so funny to be in social gatherings and I bring him his plate and people be like, girl, you bring him his plate?
Yes.
And do I'm also trying to get a ring. I don't give a damn how new we are. I would also like that ring, but even after, like there's women who, you know, my family members have been like, oh, you make his plate? Are you right? Yeah, I am, and I'm going to continue to because that's my man. Like
what?
And I already have the kids, and there are times where I'll make his plate, or I'll ask him, and he'll be like, "You can go ahead and serve the kids first." But in my mind, I'd be like, "But you though, like I love my babies. They always go eat, but you're going to be the head of our household, so." When
you don't
we
have
move
to correct
together,
yourself,
like
I'm a firm believer that he's getting his plate before my kids. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It doesn't sound the sweetest, and I don't mean it with any ill intent towards my future children or our future children, but he is going to be the head of our household.
Yeah, it's not even a correction though. We're moving our relationship has moved fast, but us with the kids has moved at a slower pace. So, you know, he still is getting acclimated to stepdaddy lifestyle and, you know, having kids around. So he's going to see that as, okay, well, you know, these are your kids. You need to take care of them.
Of course.
And I get that.
But this is why we want the ring from him.
Right, exactly, for sure. But when we move, honey bun, sweetheart, when we move and we're in our own house and we got our own table, baby, you getting your plate first because you the man, because you done went out and worked all day and faced the world and had to deal with bullshit, and then you had to come back home. And me and my kids are not calm people, okay? We are. One of my sons has autism. I'm pretty sure my daughter has autism. Like, we have ADHD. Like, we are a rowdy bunch. My youngest daughter just likes to fight. You know what I'm saying? She's a Taurus, okay? So a May Taurus. So she's just, I'm here. What's up? Like, you want to fight, like, you know. So she's coming. She does that with people she loves. So she's coming at him with this energy all the time, right? It's not really no in between unless like today she's hurt or something. So we're a rowdy bunch, like. So I want him to come home and at the very least, you know that you gonna get your nourishment first and foremost, because I care about you and I want you to get the energy you need to make it through the rest of your day. Or, you know, what I'd be saying when you be like, oh, I already ate, or I'll fix something, and you he'll be like, oh, my mom got food, and I'd be like, oh, okay.
She should be having an
Girl,
attitude about it.
I hate when my man is not hungry or if he turns down my food. Like,
wait, what do you mean? You hate me for real?
You need to get unfull.
Hello,
you
get the food out of your stomach. Because what?
Oh
and
my
what
God.
you mean? Like, and no, I love his mom. I call her mama, no disrespect, mama, if you ever see this. However, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna feed him a sandwich that I made with love, and you went to Chipotle. Like,
honestly, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I'm so grateful that we're in another state, because I would definitely be competing with my mother-in-law. Like, she cooks every day, so I would have to be cooking every day times two. Because he'll be popping up at his mom's house like, "Oh, babe, don't worry about it. I brought leftovers from your mom's house. Excuse me, you don't want that. I cooked too, babe. It's all right. We don't need that." But shout out to my mother-in-law, because she's great and she has taught me some things even over the phone, through text and stuff. So shout out to you, Ma.
And see, that's the thing. His people are really like goals. Like, they have jobs, but they're like an entrepreneurial family. Like, his mama got they got a cleaning lady that come through. Like, they be, you know, she cook all the men's breakfast. Like, everybody gets fed. They 3 separate meals a day, and then, you know, the other couple meals they might get, you know, from eating out and stuff. But like, I've waited my whole life to feed you, sir. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that's what it is. Like,
I have waited,
even though the ring is not here.
Right. I've been waiting for you my whole life.
I know.
Please.
It's here in my
spirit. It is in my imagination.
It's here up here. So
It's right
I am
here.
serving my man, my
Hello?
husband. Okay. So what do you mean you're not hungry?
I noticed two things. So the first thing I noticed is that you know, you was talking about spending money and courting, because you know you want to impress the woman and blah blah blah. The interesting thing about that is from the person asking you why do you cook for him and y'all just dating. So I'm just playing whoever said that. I'm playing the angle that they said that. So so when you're dating a man, right? Now, when it comes to dating going to the altar, we supposed to basically kill ourselves, you be fine, and still be at the altar all happy and dandy. Like you can't cook for me, you can't wash my clothes, you can't have certain conversations with, you can't do none of that until you're the wife.
There's women that
That's crazy.
stand wholeheartedly behind
Yeah,
that.
they do. They
So
stand
what do you
10
do?
toes
There's
in that.
What do we
women
do?
that
What do you do as a girlfriend? What do you do?
Those girls sit and look pretty, which is crazy to me.
No, those
because
girls busted wide open.
They do and they think that that's just enough.
Pop that coochie for a real nigga.
Like vagina is not everywhere.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
like that
Bro,
is
I'm
not
out, man.
everywhere.
That nigga's tripping.
Yeah, I'm out. You fucking tripping.
I will
Like,
say
it's not everywhere. Damn, that's not enough.
I don't want to say in defense of my ladies, but coming from a woman's perspective, pussy is power. But ladies, we have to stop using our pussy as the only power, because if we want to be biblical and get spiritual behind it, I believe that God wants us to be cooking a meal for a man before he wants us giving our coochie to a man. So if you are popping your pussy, you should be making a plate. That's just all I'm saying. It's Huncho, baby.
But you know, I'm convinced that these women are so far gone from reality these days. The ones that don't want to cook a meal or don't want to do anything other than pop that coochie cat, they're so far removed from reality these days. They don't like the men that they're dating anyway.
That and
You
a
don't
lot of
actually
women.
like him.
I wish I had the video up here, but I just seen a video recently on X. This woman was twerking, and you know the guys that are like in the street and they'll come up to you, ask certain questions or whatever. So the guy asked her like, "Do you think that a guy would want to date you and like the first like you see a camera and the first thing you do is bend over and start shaking your ass? Like, do you think that you're gonna find a husband out here like that?" And she was like, "I don't give a fuck about no husband. I'm my daddy's daughter. I was raised by my father and I got 5 brothers. I don't give a fuck about no nigga." She was like, "I got a nigga right now and 2 in a holster."
So what are you gonna do when you're lonely and
No, so this is what she said. So he was like, "So you don't want to get married or whatever?" And she was like, "I mean, when I'm old." Bitch, who's gonna marry
She already
you?
looked like she about 35.
So when you're done out here and
God
and
forgive
you and it's all saggy and
She was sagging already. Like,
damn.
Find that for me, please, because we gotta look at this video. But honestly, a lot of women now that have this whole social media thinking feel that cooking is slavery to a man.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's crazy.
they feel like being domesticated is
Mhm.
being your man's slave or your man's this. All right, but the thing about it is, or at least in our situation, like he's a man's man though. If I know
Same
that
here. I got me an alpha male.
hello, like if my car break down or if something happens and I need him, all I have to do is call him and it don't matter where he at, he's gonna come to me. Like I'm pretty sure he don't even want me calling my daddy if something if something go down, like, cause what you mean you calling your daddy and I'm here, like
But this the girl on the
he made sure, like
she gonna turn the volume up. And Peaches, I sent you something in your email. Just go to it, and it's the Honcho's random thoughts.
Okay.
That's the girl right here. Jesus Christ, bless her, because she got saggy little. Like, what are you doing?
Wait, can we hear it?
She like her coochie stink. Like, you can't hear it?
No.
Damn, son.
Damn, they always out to get us, y'all.
That's mad.
Fucking up the audio.
But yeah, in the meantime.
Yeah, like when did that become slavery to women?
My father. Okay, got it.
There you go.
All right, come on, girl.
Not a video fucking up. Yeah, if it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah,
That's the
fact.
definition of if it's not one thing, it's another. But when did cooking really become like slave duties to?
Last year.
Really?
Yeah, when the Cheesecake Factory girls came out of hiding.
Christ.
Who's the Cheesecake Factory girls?
The ones who said that you can't take them to Cheesecake Factory on the first date.
Oh.
The ones the
Disconnect from your AirPods.
I'm trying to figure out what to name them. Cause it's a certain set of women.
Sorry, y'all.
Ain't shit shaking like that.
So, do you think that when you shake ass in the camera and stuff, like men are gonna look at this and be like, you know, that's a girl who I want to make my wife?
I don't give a fuck. I don't want these. Man, let me tell you something, baby. I was raised by my father. Fuck you niggas. I'll date one of you niggas and I keep two in the chamber.
So
at all times. Fuck you niggas. I don't give a fuck. Talking about wife.
Do you not want to be a wife one day, though? Do you not want to be a wife one day, though?
When I'm old and you shake ass, I need to know your connotation as wife. Yeah. Because I'm a lot of niggas' wife. Okay. I'm a lot of niggas' wife.
Do you have a ring?
I got plenty of rings. Bitch, I forgot to put my other ring on. I'm iced out. Let me put the light on that shit.
But has a man ever...
Let me put the ice on that shit, yeah.
That's them city girls, man.
She sound hurt and scorned. Honestly, I blame Krishawn.
She sounds like she has no father.
I blame Krishawn.
Respectfully.
Because that sounds like Krishawn written all over it. Honestly, I blame Zeus.
I blame Zeus. I blame Zeus.
Because she just
Definitely
started
blame
shaking ass. He just said, like, you know what I'm saying? When you shaking that thing like that, like, do you want to get married? And she just went off on a tangent.
The
like,
thing about it is, Krishawn, you can't even say that that's Krishawn's fault. Because if there's any woman on earth doing the absolute most for a nigga who don't want her, it's Krishawn. She got that mediocre ass man tatted on her 3 times and once on her face.
Nah, I think he's tatted like.
There's multiple. It's more than that.
It's more than
it's like 15.
Once on her neck, once
like
on her
names
face,
and portraits and all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
she got this man in ice.
honestly, I do blame the men as well, because some men know that they don't want that, but would gas her head up to make it
for
feel
sure.
like they want her. Like,
yeah, and then that's the reason. Honestly, I'm so glad that you brought that up. But that's the reason why a lot of women, I feel like, group men together and will be like, "Oh, men ain't shit," or this, that, and the third, because there's really niggas out here that will appropriate that, knowing that that's not the type of woman that y'all are looking for in a wife, and make her think that shit like that is okay.
But wait,
like she continues to get niggas to treat her
It's
well.
the BBL girls.
Wait. Okay, I knew someone was going to bring that up, and in all reality, and I'm pretty sure I'm speaking for every man. Niggas don't like that. Like, it's cool to look at, but niggas don't want that. Like,
I think you're speaking from a perspective of you're an almost 34-year-old man that has a goal of looking for a wife, and, you know, in a solid relationship. But if you could put on your thinking cap from, let's say, 8 to 10 years ago, so 24, 26, you wouldn't have turned her down.
if she pulled up on me on some shit, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
I'm not.
You wouldn't.
No, I'm
Thank you for being honest, Primetime. Thank you. Appreciate the honesty.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, and this can be verified if need be. I like I've always been the guy that would be cool to look at. I say this every day. Like, I prefer my woman to be, and this is just me, I prefer my woman to be petite. But like, if a girl is, you know, shaking her boobs and ass, niggas is gonna look. But I don't want that. I've always been a guy that I'm not like, I'm not attracted to that because to me that screams attention.
I'm gonna call cap on you.
I'm not gonna lie. I was just about to say.
I will show you my
I was just about to
girlfriends.
say.
My
20.
they are all like they
your
are all
type
like
and who you would allow in your space, two totally different things.
And I was about to say the only reason
I'm his type, but if he was single,
and she came at me doing that,
yo,
I'm not even gonna lie.
Who not?
I'm not turning it down.
So let me get something straight here. So when you say if she would have pulled up like in another world, if I was single, if she would have pulled up with me 10 years ago, or 8 years ago, 6 years ago, you're saying that she'd have pulled up with me and shake that ass. Like your question is like, what's next? Like, am I gonna like pop it?
Yes, you would have.
No, I'm telling you.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. But what I will say, I will say that I do believe you, but let me give y'all why I believe my man. Because if y'all see the video, and y'all can't see the video, viewers, but y'all seen the video, I'm not gonna lie, she looked like her shit stink. Yeah. He has a phobia of funky things.
different.
So I feel like in what she got on, you could have caught a whiff for that. So given that,
I low-key would have thought the same thing though.
Given that, because she looked like her shit stink, I feel like he wouldn't have popped because I know he has a phobia of funky coochie.
I like the quiet girls reading a book.
Shut up. You trying to be funny.
No, listen, I'm dead. I like the quiet girls reading the book, sitting up with their cotton socks on, with the pants on the inside. Like, you know what I'm talking about with the socks on the outside?
That's
I like
right
that.
here.
Like she's sitting Indian style
right
or like a leg underneath her and shit, just reading and shit. Like I like that. Like fresh out the shower, got the India Ari shit on, nice oil, cocoa shea butter in the atmosphere. I like that.
Yeah.
But I would never. And believe me, girls have pulled up on me like that, and I'm just like, hell, you wild. Chill. So I'm not.
But there's a difference between when you're ready for that and when you're just having fun. If you're in the streets having fun because Shea Butter Baby with the books ain't pulled up yet, she's not. If you're in the streets having fun, let's say she didn't look like her coochie stank, okay? But she in a spot and her song come on and she get to moving that ass and she give over her shoulder. You know what I'm saying? She hit you with the little side eye with the what's up, daddy? She give you that little
she
look.
pull up on you because women in 2024 is shooting a shot.
For sure.
Yo, I could call my best friend Artie right now. He would tell you my dating history.
All right.
My chicks, like the chicks I was dating in high school, and ladies, if y'all watch this.
So baby, okay, wait, I'm sorry, let me shut this down because I think that you are conflating what Barbara is saying just a little bit.
A tad bit.
Have you not fucked somebody outside of dating them? So are the only girls that you smash girls that you dated?
Like, all right, so you said having fun. All right, so let me address that.
When you was in the streets, okay? We're not talking about girls that you actually like.
Right,
girls
that you locked
wanted
down,
to date.
like that you smashed, we talking about.
Yeah.
No, I got you. So, all right. So when I was in college, right? When I was in the street a little bit, like, no. Let me tell you why.
He's trying to water it down.
You're right.
I always had this stink pussy like revelation. But like, listen. So when I was in college, when I was in the streets a little bit, Buffalo State College, you know what I'm saying? Go Bengals. Anyway, so with me, like, you know, I have my boys and they would know, like, you know, she off limits or whatever the case may be. The one thing my niggas used to always say is like, yo, bro. Why you, bro? Like, you could do better than that. And even the women used to literally say to me, like, yo, I see you with that, not that. And I'm just like, I like that better because I don't like the tension with all of that. Like, that doesn't do it for me. Like, I promise, and I'm a dork. A lot of women of that. No, I'm just being honest. Even if we just fooling, fucking, whatever we doing, I gotta have some mental connection with you, or it's not gonna vibe the right way. So even in college, a lot of the girls I was talking to was more or less like, they wasn't. I mean, they would. Damn, I don't think I've ever dated a girl that was bad.
So from somebody who had a whole phase, listen,
I couldn't.
It was a total difference from the niggas that I would see out when I was outside and be like, yeah, nigga, you might be able to do a little something over here versus the ones that I actually liked as people and wanted to date. Those niggas there was a total difference. Like if I was looking to date and looking to, have like, it was a difference. The niggas who was bad boys in the club, yeah, I want to have fun with you because you look like you might give me a thrill. There might be an element of danger. She had an element of danger for men.
That's why I said if that was me.
You know what the thing
I'm not
is?
writing that down.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what the thing is? And I just told her this earlier. So with women like that, it begets a lot of attention. So, a lot of niggas going to be like, oh. I don't do well with disrespect. Like if a nigga try to do too much, like if I'm just fucking with her, whatever the case may be. And when I used to be in the streets a little bit in college, my niggas would know. Like people would know, like, oh, she off limits and blah blah blah. Because you know what I'm saying. But I don't sleep around.
Okay, so you a different breed.
Wait, right? Because with me, if somebody portrays disrespect, like if we have in our mind, like I can't just sleep around with multiple people. That's just not my thing. But like if we just fucking friends and benefits, whatever the case may be, right? There's gonna be a level of respect. So if a nigga pull up on you on some other shit, just be like, yo, Some of these niggas I went to school with, I just know how niggas give it up. Mm-hmm. And I just know, based on her attention, she got a fat ass, big titties, she's cute, whatever the case may be, I will fuck you up and probably try to kill you. Don't disrespect. This is not about her. This is about me because you knew. And that's why, like now, me at 33, I'm calm.
We just had this conversation.
Right? I know where, because I know where it can go with me. Right? The thing is, I don't know about you. And because I don't know about you, there's this theory called the prisoner's dilemma. In jail, it's so violent because no one has an idea what the next person is plotting against them. So it's like that whole idea, let me get you before you get me, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I don't do well with disrespect. So if you disrespect me on that level at 24, it was a whole different vibe with me. And on top of that, if you want to take it to another level, my family give it up filthy so we can do that. So to avoid that, I'm just relax. I'm just relaxed. I don't need all of that. I don't. It doesn't do it for me. Because all of the women I've ever met in my life in high school with all of that, they always wanted attention. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Attention. Now don't get me wrong.
Now
don't get me wrong. It's the action that y'all just said.
A lot of niggas don't have standards.
The action you said is twerking, right? So I only took that action. So obviously she has to have some ass on her, something to twerk. I can date a girl with a fat ass and a big tit and all this other shit. My girl got the wagon, right? But this is the thing. She's not cocky with it. No, she's not cocky with it. She's not like getting in the club and just start shaking that. Like, no, like.
No, because that's not the kind of woman that you want at home. I'm not talking about the woman. I'm not even talking about.
That's the thing, B. Even a thrill. I don't, because that begets you slinging pussy around. Let me find out, like it's a surprise. Like, oh, you reading book, bitch. You slinging pussy.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by you
reading book, bitch, slinging pussy.
Yo,
I'm dead.
Clip that up.
That was a
clip that up. Clip that up.
But that's what I'm saying. Obviously, you knew your boundaries and you were a little bit different because me and Primetime both said it. If she came with that in his single days when he was wild, it was going down. And it would have been the same in my wilder days if a certain type of nigga could. Hey, we're having fun. It is what quite frankly, as long as you're not, if you don't bring me no STDs, you like we're clean and we're safe. I don't give a fuck because I don't like you like that. You're here for one thing and one thing only.
So look,
if she's twerking like that, he's not there to.
We ain't talking about what's your favorite color.
Hello.
No, but
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what your middle name is, bitch. Give me that, and we can. Let's go about our business. Let's have some fun.
I will say we on the right side of the couch though, because I could see that you know your man. Like when he was single, he definitely would have cool.
They know
And like
type.
he know you. So like when you was single, cool. You
and
might have had your
it
days,
is
your
what it
moments.
is.
Can I ask ages? How old are you? Can I?
We're
is that
both
okay?
30.
We both 30.
Okay, I'm a little bit older than y'all. So all right,
We both, but
93. Okay, so when I went to college in high school, I probably thought a little bit more like that, but I didn't. I was always shy, so I never.
I was
really,
a virgin in high school, so
I never acted on it.
the late everything came later for me. All the fun
all through high school
came. I was a virgin until the end of my freshman year in college. So everything that happened came way later for me. So I had my fun in my 20s and in adulthood. So
I'm gonna put it in perspective for y'all. So when I went to
I was a prude.
college, have y'all ever seen the show Different Worlds?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. I'm showing my age a little bit, but the lack of technology back then, that's kind of how like when I started college, it was genuinely like that. So we didn't have a lot of shit to connect with people. The only way we was connecting with people,
he was meeting them in person
through conversation.
Yeah.
So when it came to me, it was more or less like, and that's why I can say like I found what I liked very early. Cause like in high school, I wasn't like a hoe in high school, but like in high school, I kind of talked to every kind of woman. I've talked to the loud, popular girl, the blah blah blah. So in college, it was more or less like I'm and going on with this podcast. I like conversation,
right.
so it was like you're gonna have the fattest, and I noticed this because in high school, one of my girlfriends, she had the body, oh, did boom, 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 and I got bored with that. I'm like, damn, you don't got no conversation, bitch. You trash. Like,
But see, this is what I mean by like that's you as an individual because my twin's dad, we were together for what 3 years or so, and he's your age. He'll be 30. Yeah, I think he just turned 33 or 34. Anyway, y'all are about the same age. It don't matter. Before he met me, regardless, we were in our 20s, both in our 20s when we got together and, whatever. But before me, he would have popped that. It don't so age is not it doesn't really matter. Like you as an individual, I can see, and there are those men who have just always been like, hey yo, I'm not really with the rah-rah, and that's fine. Y'all are kind of few and far between because the thing is, like, I also, and he the type of dude their dad is now, like he's not with the rah rah and like he wants. I'm trying to get to know you. I'm trying to have a conversation, and with you coming with that, I'm good on it. But back then, totally different person. In his 20s, yeah, I'ma have some fun. I don't care what your favorite color, your last name, your middle name. We gonna have some fun. You trying me? Cool. And then we're on about our business. There's no need for extra.
Nah, I respect that, but like,
the majority,
shout
what
out
I'm
to
saying,
maturity.
is gonna go.
Shout out to
with that.
maturity.
Yeah,
Let's
for
shout out
sure.
to maturity. Should we get a round of applause for maturity?
Yeah,
for
Round of
sure.
applause.
Growing up it's amazing.
But just to conclude this, and Peach, can you do me a favor? Can you just bring up that email? I shared a doc of my notes. I got like something I just wanted to bring to the people. Can you scroll down? You see the first link in Huncho's Thoughts, number 4?
Mm-hmm.
Bring up that link. He's gonna have that on the side. I'm gonna conclude this topic. We're gonna get into this video soon after.
Baby, what's wrong?
No.
Your wife
Wait.
forgot to say.
Sorry.
Pause it. Just
what you want me to do?
Restart it. Just bring it up and hold it. Just hold it there. And I'm gonna conclude the topic we was in. Then we're gonna go into this. I just want to have it ready.
Oh, okay.
Take the sound off, but keep it paused. So that way when you press it. All right, there we go. All right, there you go. So just to conclude on this topic, I mean, everybody's different because some of my boys is like that, like, fat ass, blah, blah, blah. But I know what it is. I've always talked to someone I kind of seen a little bit of potential in. I couldn't just talk to someone frivolously.
You've always been a lover boy.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, you can say that. I was definitely a lover boy, and I think that is my downfall in terms of my experience with women. I feel like if I was a little bit more of a savage when I was supposed to be in my early 20s, I wouldn't have had like what I dealt with in like my latter 20s and shit like that. So I should have been more of a savage. So shout out to the woman out there that broke my heart in any kind of way. Fuck you. Suck my dick.
Thank you.
Right.
They probably just said you're welcome too. So I just wanted to get into this. I think this is pretty funny. We can get into that. Go, you press play.
Baby, what's wrong? I'm your wife, for God's sakes. Tell me.
My mother just passed away today.
Oh my God, baby. The strongest thing a man can do is to be vulnerable to his wife. I don't ever want you to feel like you have to hide from me in the bathroom whenever you're feeling, emotional. I'll give you your privacy. Hello? You were right, Mom. You were right. I just caught my husband crying in the bathroom. Oh, hell no. How disgusting. I saw the tears. I saw them. Mom, he's... Go ahead, sweetie. Say it. He's sassy. I knew it. He's soft, Mom. He's too soft. Mom always pulled out a pacifier. I just wanted him to stop crying. I just wanted him to stop. I can't look at him the same anymore. Baby, what's wrong?
That's wild.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, y'all agree with this shit?
Bro, but that's how some women are nowadays, bro.
Nah, that's
bro,
fucked up.
the social media them fucked up a lot of shit, man.
BBL girls came through and swept.
Yeah.
Men can't do shit without it being sassy nowadays, dog.
Yeah.
Is there any way for a man to be attractively sensitive?
Well, first of all, no, but also sensitivity to a woman, to a grown woman, is attractive anyway, because it shows that you're not stuck in your ego and your masculinity all the time.
I agree. I agree with Barbara wholeheartedly. And I will say, and just to piggyback off of what Barbara said and to answer your question, no, I don't think that there is an attractive way for men to be like emotional. I agree with Barbara. If you're dealing with a real woman, then that level of vulnerability and sensitivity will be attractive to us anyway.
Right.
But I do feel that there's a difference of being in tune with your emotions and being overly emotional. I personally have never dated somebody that was overly emotional, but I know a few people in my life that have dated men that are overly emotional. And I will say, to me, that is unattractive. Like, a man that cries and whines about everything, like if something did not go their way, when they express themselves, they're crying. That to me is too much. You cannot cry about everything that we talk about because I'm already emotional. This is just a personal, like, I'm not saying that it's sassy or anything for anybody, like, to each their own. This is just for me personally. I'm already a sensitive person. I already cry about a lot of things. Half the time, don't even know what I'm crying for. So you cannot be the same way. It's okay for you to cry, but you cannot cry about everything. Like, also, it can't be, oh, babe, I ran out of gas. Like, oh my God, I ran out of gas and I lost my debit card. And I like, wait, nigga, you had a bad day. Tell me about your bad day. You don't have to cry.
So you said something interesting. So you said you are of that ilk, so he cannot be the same kind of person.
Yeah, it's too much overstimulation.
So, and I was thinking about this the other day, not with us, but just with the whole idea of relationships. So, are you willing to deal with something of your boyfriend that he doesn't want you to do? Like you said, you can be overly emotional, but he cannot be the same thing. And I'm just saying, like, if you were single, like, so should I ask Barbara? Should I go over there?
What is the something? What is the something?
I mean,
you have to give me full context in order for me to make a judgment.
Let's see. You can be emotional. Okay. He can. That was your stomach?
Yeah. Not you.
Did you hear that?
How hungry are you?
Yeah, we can do one more topic and we can end this. We gotta get something to eat.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my man some food.
Who gave the stomach a mic? Like, who really gave the stomach a mic?
It's Huncho, baby.
Did you see me? I was like, wait a minute.
Bro, I'm looking over here. My glasses went like, it's like my glasses jumped out.
We gonna feed him, baby. See, this is why we were talking about earlier.
Last time I was about 2:00 before I did that.
Oh no, we gotta get you out of here.
Yeah.
No,
All right, so let me make this quick. Let's
Okay,
say if you let's keep it in the emotional realm. Let's say when he gets upset, nothing physical because we don't condone to that, but he wants to curse, like curse at you.
I guess you mean like, I guess being emotional, yelling and cursing.
Yeah, like yelling and cursing. Like she can cry, but when he deals with something, when they deal with something, she cries, and the way he deals with it is like
taking it out
fuck
on
out of here,
hashing
like
it on her.
why the fuck you? That
I'm
type
from
of
New York. That don't faze me.
I've been through that.
That don't faze me. As long as you're not getting aggressive, like to me physically, I might want to fuck out of here. You too. Through the tears, nigga. Fuck out of here.
Ladies, leave it in the comments because I can hear it right now. The women saying, "Oh fuck no, he bet not raise his voice.
No, I've been through
better
that.
use his
It's
inside voice. Like it's exhausting, right? But like
It is.
this is the thing, and I'm only playing another angle. When does the tears and all of that get exhausting for us?
When you
mention
decide?
it.
Yeah, when
you
say that.
But that's the thing.
It's called a boundary.
And this is not experience. This is things that I've like witnessed and seen, whether it's social media, whatever the case may be. Right? We tell you like, babe, you cry too much, right? When has it been okay for a man to ever say that to his woman and it not be an issue? Not probably explicitly, but in her mind, she's like, damn, I can't go to my man and use his shoulder to cry on. And we all know the rest of that phrase.
Yeah, I can't be my full self. And so at that point,
I can't speak for all the women in the world, and I can't speak for the other women here, on the pod. I'm gonna speak for myself. And for me personally, I was raised to be very expressive. My mom raised me in a sense of she allowed me to say however it is that I felt, whatever it is that I felt. And she just taught me that it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. Mm-hmm. So my mom has always taught me that I cannot be wrong for how I feel. So a lot of, and I carry that with me in my experiences in friendships and relationships, what have you. And I try to get people to reciprocate it because you are not wrong for how you feel. You can tell me how you feel. It's not about what you're saying. It's simply how you are saying it. So if you feel like I cry too much or I'm too emotional, there's a way for you to come to me and say, babe, you know what? Like the last few situations that we've been through or the last few experiences that we had, like you did a little much, or you were overly emotional. Like sometimes you can't sugarcoat certain words. You have to say it for what it is. You were overly emotional. I didn't think that warranted X, Y, and Z. And me, I will say I'm an emotional person. Like, that's not something that you can deal with because I can control my emotions. But sometimes, like I said, a lot of times I will just be watching fucking what's the thing I love watching? America's Got Talent. Gets me every time. Like, oh, the tears. Or like those soldier videos when the soldiers come home. Like, sometimes we'll be having a perfect night, perfect evening, and we'll be just preparing for work. He'll be editing the pod, and I'll just be, sitting behind him. We have a little studio, so he sits at his little desk, and it's like in front of my desk, close to the TV. And I'll be behind him, and he'll turn around, and I'm just like sniffling in tears. And he's like, "What the fuck happened?" Like, he was literally just talking to me 5 minutes ago, and I'll be fine responding to him, and then he turns around, and I'm like bawling. And my baby's an empath, so like immediately when he sees tears, he's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" Was like he's ready to come to my rescue. That's why I love him. But it's me, who I am. Sometimes I feel like if I haven't cried in a while, I need to find things to make me cry.
Yeah, you need to get it out. You need to cleanse.
I don't know why, but yeah, I'm all for communication, open communication. To me, there is like nothing wrong that my spouse or my friend can say to me it's all in how you say it, because I feel like your delivery is what will make me take offense or not.
Yeah,
because
see-
I like to think about things like, okay, this is my person, or this is
Mhm.
my homegirl. They're not telling me anything out of,
Spite.
malice. They're not telling me anything out of spite. So are they saying this from a place of hatred or from a place of, hey, I want you to be better for yourself?
Right.
And a lot of the times when my man tells me things, like, I know that the criticism is not because he can't deal with it, who I am as a person. It's more a matter of, I want you to notice what I notice in you so that you can be better for you.
Right.
You know?
See, and there's a couple of things I think about when, thinking about his question. Like, one, you have to find like your person, your partner, your equal. Like, so, some people are just emotional. So women are just emotional. There is a point in my mind where being emotional becomes manipulation.
It
And
definitely
so
can.
you definitely have to be, careful and aware of that, of when your partners, or when, a person's emotions and their crying and all of that is a tool for manipulation to get
Yes,
their way.
absolutely.
However, before him, I was dealing with somebody who I personally have been through a lot of relationship BS. So I'm the type of person, I need reassurance. I would ask the person before that I was dealing with for reassurance, and or ask, hey, what's your goals? What's your vision for us? What's your whatever? And it was always, oh my gosh, we already talked about, I don't like talking about this relationship shit. We already talked about this, or it was hard to get reassurance. With him, it's natural. Or I'll ask, hey, I have an insecurity about this because XYZ. I've told him several times, like, I have this insecurity or I have that insecurity. So sometimes I'm gonna need some reassurance. Or there's small things that trigger me, and I'm gonna need you to
And when you got a
reassure
fucked
me.
up past, sometimes
It can be very hard, like in dealing with somebody, or dealing with somebody who's fucked up themselves, and then you're fucked up and you're trying to get reassurance from them, but because they're fucked up, they don't want to provide you with that reassurance. It's very difficult. That's not a good dynamic. So me coming from, where I come from, and emotionally, and traumas I've dealt with, the healing that I've done, all of, like, I need some reassurance. This is why I'm insecure about this. It's not because of you, but I need a little reassurance with you so that I know that I'm safe here, and he provides that, and it's never a problem. I don't never feel like he's irritated or like I'm asking for too much. So at the end of the day, you have to be with the person who wants to provide you, or wants to be
that safety net.
Yeah, like, if you're an emotional person or you cry a lot, be with a man who can support that, or who can, hey, come here, give me a hug. You about to cry? All right, cool. Come on.
Right.
But a lot of times, and I'm not talking about for like us personally, because we kind of understand and get each other.
Mhm.
But a lot of times, those people that are emotional tend to want someone who is strong and never get to really understand their demeanor. Like, if you want someone that's strong, you need to get to understand their demeanor and why they don't understand you so much, because you're trying to get stronger. And I feel
Mhm.
like a lot of people try to change people's perceptions on stuff and make it seem like they're the bad guy. Like, a lot of guys that I don't like, she be crying, I don't mind it because I understand it.
Mhm.
But a lot of guys, they don't understand the crying. Like, why are you crying about a movie? Why are you crying about this? Why are you
Yeah.
crying about that kind of thing?
I cry when we just have conversations. Like, he could tell me something like about myself, and it won't even be a bad thing, but I have to cry to process it.
I
Like,
cried
and
the
he'll be
most
like he
random
feels so
stuff.
bad. He's like, oh my gosh, should I not have said it? I knew I shouldn't have said it. I knew I should have thought about this longer. I knew I should have probably brought it to your attention. But like, I love the fact that he felt comfortable enough to bring it to my attention. And the tears, a lot of the times, are like, for me, it's relief, because I've never been in a relationship, in any of my previous relationships, where my spouse has checked or corrected me on the person that I'm presenting as and showing up as every
Mm-hmm.
day. And I feel like that is very important because as women, we can throw the hammer, throw the book all day at men about what they do and don't do. But we will not allow a man to check us. And I don't see why or
we don't allow
how
our
we think
friends
that
to
it's
check us if
but and that's, you know what, that's a great and prime example. I think that's why I'm able to allow my man to check me and be like so grateful for it, because me and my friends don't play that shit.
Yeah,
We
you
check
have to learn self accountability before you allow anybody else to hold you accountable.
It's Huncho, baby. That too. That
Like,
is
it all starts with you. So
that is
if you're not mature enough, if you're not at the point in your life where you can look in the mirror and be like, "Hey, yo, you're tripping. Like, what you just did was not okay." Then you're not gonna allow nobody else to do it because.
And to piggyback off of that, what you just said, because you need to learn self-accountability before you allow anybody else to check you. I love that, because a lot of the times things that I feel like maybe brought to my attention or that like my friends or my man may not agree with, I've second guessed it myself. Like I've like, okay, girl, I noticed that this is how you've been moving, or this is how you know, this is what your like new schedule is. Like, what, you know, we got to change that up. This is certain things. And when it's brought to your attention by someone you love, it's like, oh shit,
cool.
okay, so
Right.
you noticed that too. All right, cool. Let me correct that. Let me work on that.
I think honestly, y'all two women are just diamonds out of the rough, because
thanks, babe.
A lot of times that I might have been dating someone, and might have made a mention to certain things. It wasn't translated into what you just said. It was always, you need to accept this. And it's just like, all right, cool. So what about me are you going to accept as well then? Because you want me to change so much, yet you're not willing to change. And we had a conversation the other day about this. It was somewhat along the lines of, dating is interesting because men, we're kind of relatively the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just let us be men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, every man, you know what I'm saying? Like, we want to watch the game. We want to do what we want to do. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Give us that space. But when it comes to men and dating women, every woman is so different. And it's like, we got to learn everything all over again, because whereas the last one may have, wanted certain things, or like, oh, don't, tell me about myself, or whatever the case may be, the next one may not. So it's sometimes it takes us a little bit to go, okay, so let me reformat my thinking about women to let myself know every woman is different. Most men, you cook them a meal, got the game on, conversate, leave us alone a little bit, watch the game, come back, conversate. We're the happiest people on earth.
That's me to the T.
It's like,
that's me to the
real
T right
shit.
there.
You see, that's how crazy that is.
But also, I mean, I feel like, yeah, what you said is true, but y'all are different people with different women as well. Like, babe, you can speak to that because of who he was dealing with last before me. Like,
yeah. Like you said, how basically women want us to change and stuff like that. Like you said, the last person I was dealing with, she wanted me to have a 6-figure job, have my own house, have
right now.
Yeah, like
right now.
To be happening right then and there.
If you don't have it, you're less than.
Did she have a 6-figure job?
No.
Did she have her own house?
No. I even told Bart, so she didn't even own her own car. Like she had a car, but it was leased out. Like, not shitting on people for doing that shit, because those times are tough. But the truck outside of that job, I bought that.
Period.
Yeah, like, I might not have.
I'll pay my car note.
Yeah.
Like, that car is mine.
Telling me I need to have my own place. My credit score, ain't the best, but it's up there to where if I decide to get a house, I can do that. When I ask her about it, oh, my credit's all fucked up. So why I gotta come with all this stuff for you when you don't have nothing to provide for me?
And what I was going to say to piggyback off of that, what you just said, babe, something that you said as well. I think the difference the reason why men have a very like y'all are in unison with each other, and very simple and things like that, is because of, and this is going way back to our initial conversation, but removing, the black men from the home, a lot of the times women feel like we don't need y'all. And I think that y'all carry that with y'all. And it's like, okay, well, she don't need me anyway. So I have no choice but to correct the things that she doesn't like in order to see if this can work. Whereas and I think with women too, or with women and men rather, when you guys are dating women, and this is to the viewers, not you guys, because y'all got y'all ladies and y'all stuck with us.
Period.
But for the viewers out there, when y'all are dating different women, listen to what she is asking for. Listen to what she is saying. Because one thing that I will say about women, and I think this is where men go wrong, and a lot of women, at least a lot of women that I know, are too honest. Like, women are completely honest about what it is that they want, how it is that they feel, whether they have a very like logical mindset like Barbara and I, or if they just treating and they out here thotting and they just popping a pussy and they really just want a nigga to pay their bills and they really just want a nigga to take care of their kids and they really just want a nigga to buy them Audemars and fly them out. They're saying that. Y'all are not listening. Y'all are not listening. Like, y'all are getting with these women thinking that y'all may be able to change them, or okay, she's showing some interest in me and she didn't get the Audemars and cut me off. Like, she's still fucking with me. That's because you are doing what she says. You are listening. So if that's not the type of woman that you want, you have to move on to the next and go vet the next one. But these women are telling you a lot of the times how to date them, who they are, what they want out of dating you, and you're trying to get answers to other questions. I think, at least the women that I know, the women that I see on social media, I'm not even gonna say the women that I know, women that I see on social media are very clear and to the point about the type of women that they are. So I think that a lot of the times, if men are confused by the women that they found or confused by the women that they're dating, it's because you're just not listening. Because y'all are so simple and there's not too much differences to y'all for y'all to like, we don't have to too much listen to like the things that y'all like. Like, yes, we do, but also at the same time, no, we don't, because y'all all like the same shit. Y'all want to be fed. Y'all want to watch the game. Y'all probably want a little fellatio. And y'all just want like peace.
And see, though,
very simple.
The thing that men are not taught enough is that y'all also can have boundaries.
Yes.
You can also speak up and be
standards.
Like, standards, boundaries, like,
without being called gay, without being called less than a man.
Right. Because all that stuff just started, I really feel like last year, last year with the whole gay men can't do this, men can't do that, your drink is too sassy. Like, I feel like all of that really popped off in the last year or so, maybe year and a half, because I feel like that wasn't going on. But when you're not stuck in the world of the internet, social media, and the narratives, like, y'all have a say so you don't have to deal with a woman who's telling you can't dress when you literally know how to fucking dress. Like, you don't have to deal with the woman who is, oh well, I want you to have this and this, and she ain't got nothing to her name and she can't take care of herself, but she wants you to come in and take care of her. Before I got with him, before I had a man, I wholeheartedly felt like, if you can't do something, at least the bare minimum for yourself, why are you telling this man that he needs to come in and do it? I paid my car note. That car got my name on it, and struggling or not, I got to pay for it. My parents bought my first car, thank God. But this one is on me. If you can't pay your own car note, how you gonna tell him to come? And the thing about it is, a man who is a provider, you won't have to do those things. He will naturally step up and do those things for you if he wants to. However, you're just off the cusp. Like, men, you don't have to deal with that. And I get, that we are in an age where men be like, oh shit, fuck that, on the internet. But in real life, I've seen way too many men stick around for bullshit and in bullshit situations. You get on the internet and you talk your mess. But then in real life, I'm seeing you be a sucker for a trash ass bitch. I've seen it
And I
way too
think-
many times.
I
They are
think-
marrying these women and staying with them, and the women are sitting on their ass not doing a motherfucking thing. I'm talking about. I've seen firsthand the man, the husband. He's cooking, he's cleaning, he's taking care of the kids. Then he's going. His relief is to go out and do him. Maybe every once in a while when she is cool with keeping her own damn kids, but they feel like, oh well, if I step up or if I say something or if I leave, then I look a certain type of way, or I am doing her a disservice because she needs me or whatever. You don't have
Show her
to
just
stay.
how much she needs you by getting your ass up and going where you appreciate.
Period. You don't have to stay. You don't have to deal with it. You can speak the fuck up and set them boundaries. And fuck who don't like it.
You know what you just made me realize, Barbara, that this whole sassy saga that's been going on in like the era of women calling men sassy, really what it boils down to is rejection.
Facts.
A lot of the times women that are being rejected by certain men or just didn't see eye to eye with a man, immediately it jumps to sassy. And what it made me think of is before social media and before there was like Instagram and stuff, back in the MySpace days, like when you was still going to the corner store and a nigga was still trying to pull up on you.
Right.
When you turn a nigga down, you'd be like, fuck out of here, bitch. I ain't want you anyway. That's what it is with the whole sassy thing.
Yeah.
Because the way that women throw that out now, it's like, oh, your ego was hurt.
Hold that angle, because we have a topic we're not going to talk about on this angle. It's the Just Hilarious. The one she, we're going to talk about that on another angle. Let's hold that down. We can honestly end it right here. My man's got to get something to eat.
Yeah.
I know as a man how that feels. I know as a man.
You want to do your last random thought real quick? It's your guilty pleasure.
Let me get off of this because I don't want them to see my guilty pleasure.
Too late.
I read it a little fast.
I ain't want her to stay on my notes. Just bring the link up. But we don't got to go into guilty pleasure. We could do that next time. We already well over 2 hours.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
That was vibing.
Any final thoughts, anyone? Any final thoughts about anything, Peaches?
I just want to say shout out to the viewers. If you have been a loyal listener, and even if you were a new listener, we appreciate you. All Angles Podcast
It's
appreciate
Huncho,
you.
baby.
We definitely appreciate you guys as guests coming for the second time. You guys are more than welcome to come back. Barb, I'm going to be in touch with you because I just love the vibes that are brought when, all of us are on the pod. I love the conversation that you guys bring. And I am wishing you guys all the best in your search for a new home this year. I'm wishing you guys all the best in success in y'all relationship because y'all are really, honestly, a beautiful couple.
Thank
and
you.
I can't wait to get invited to the wedding, period.
Of course.
Let us know, for real. Let us know.
Y'all already know. We definitely will. This is everything I've been praying for so long. So I'm happy.
And All Angles Podcast gonna go up. Barbie ain't gonna be having to look for a job.
Wait, what? It was too much.
All Angles Podcast is gonna go up. You ain't gonna be having to look for a job. Just know that.
Yeah, facts.
Nah, let me do that the right way. First. Wrong. Listen, my drops changed. I'm trying to get to know them once again. Any last thoughts from me?
I have another last thought.
You do?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If y'all ever need a DJ,
period.
DJ Primetime, one of the best DJs in Houston. Y'all gonna be hearing his name real soon. So make sure y'all look him up. It's at DJ Primetime. 2 underscores? 2 underscores on Instagram. So if y'all just want to turn up right quick, or if you need a DJ for your next event, your wedding, your baby shower, your kid's birthday party, a private event, a corporate event, what else do you do?
You throw quinceañeras up.
Whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you need. Y'all hit my man up, and I don't gas for no reason. If he sucked, I'd be like, but nah, he really him. So
period. And please shout yourself out too before we get off air. My girl got her own scrubs, oils. Let us know, Mama B.
It's Mama B's Remedies. I do have one of the best hair and skin oils on the market. You can go to mbremedies.com and find those sugar scrubs as well as that oil. I emphasize the oil because it has worked wonders for my skin. Everyone who tries it loves it. So yeah, y'all definitely get that remedy, get that oil. For your, if you have locks, my daughter just started her locks. If you have eczema, but definitely if you have locks and you getting them retwisted regularly, I know how it can be a little itchy up in there. Definitely get that oil. It's gonna give you some relief and it's gonna help your locks to grow long and strong.
Viewers, make sure y'all definitely support B.
Yeah, we gotta talk after this episode. But baby, what's your final thoughts?
My final thoughts. My final thought is, so we had this up there, but I'll just say a little bit of it. Y'all gotta see the movie Doubting Thomas. That's the first movie that I found out that you can be playing a sport with your son's father. Let that sink in. I'm not even gonna say anything else. Let that. You want to go play the trailer?
I was just bringing it up.
Okay, no. So let's not play the trailer. Let that sink in.
I'm gonna watch that trailer now.
Definitely.
I was just
that was wild.
What the movie was about.
You read it? You want to read that? Wow.
Okay, it says, when a black baby is born to white parents, a family's life is torn apart as secrets are revealed, their love is tested, and the legacy of racism in America hits home. Doubting Thomas, everyone.
I'm not gonna spoil shit because she just put this movie on and this movie blew my fucking mind. I'm gonna just let y'all know this is one of those movies at the end is gonna get you tight because you just it just
had me swinging like Cupid getting dreamed.
Yes. Yes.
Why is that the exact expression that we described when we watched it?
Bro.
You said, I know that he's doing that. Literally, you brought that. Yo.
Bro, if my woman brings home a white baby, like
who white baby is this?
Y'all don't even gotta worry about you heard that sound? I'm sorry, but yes, some of that will be going on. I'm dead. No games. But to the viewers
Baby,
out
you
there,
ain't know I had a little
Anyway, to the viewers out there, thank y'all once again for watching another Angle of All Angles podcast. Ladies, don't let these fellas get to y'all. Fellas, don't let these ladies get to us. Everybody wants to be right. No one wants to be wrong. A welcome us. We just want y'all to see it from a different angle. Once again, I'm your host, Huncho. Thank you for tuning in.
And I'm your co-host, Peaches.
Oh, yeah. I got to get you a drop. We got to find some shit.
It's all right, babe. Go ahead, close it out. I'm sorry. I just had to
I might call Sexy Red and to tell her to do your job.
Don't
get it sexy. Nah, but yeah, thank you for tuning in once again. Angle 11. Angel numbers. We out of here. Peace.
It's Huncho, baby.
What's good, fam? This is Big Queen Southside Jamaica host Huncho coming by to say thank you for tuning into a new angle for All Angles podcast. Be sure to check us out and follow us on Instagram at All Angles Podcast Huncho and Snapchat AA Podcast 2024. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel at All Angles Entertainment. And follow our SoundCloud channel at All Angles Podcast. And whatever you do, I want y'all to never forget.
It's Huncho, baby. You are now tuned in.
You are now tuned in. You are now tuned in. You are now tuned in.
You are now tuned in.
To All Angles. To All Angles.
To All Angles podcast hosted by Huncho.
Tune in, okay? All Angle Podcast, okay? Hosted by my geyser, Huncho. If y'all know him, you know he gonna speak the truth. If y'all don't know him, y'all better tune in. And if you do tune in, you better come correct because he will put you in your place, alright? Tune in.
It's Huncho, baby.
My nigga.
You are now tuned in.
You are now tuned in.
You are now tuned in.
You are now tuned in
You are now tuned in
to All Angles.
to All Angles.
To All Angles podcast, hosted by Huncho.
Tune in, okay? All Angle Podcast, okay? Hosted by my geyser, Huncho. If y'all know him, you know he gonna speak the truth. If y'all don't know him, y'all better tune in. And if you do tune in, you better come correct because he will put you in your place. Alright? Tune in.
It's Huncho, baby.
My nigga.